Let me tell you something that's going to sound controversial. Learning how to use AI tools isn't what's going to make you irreplaceable. In fact, it might be making you more replaceable than ever before. I'm talking about the difference between being someone who uses AI and being someone companies desperately need because of how you work with AI. And if you don't understand this distinction right now, you're setting yourself up to be the first person AI replaces instead of the last. Welcome to KB Bluetree, where we cut through the noise and give you the real strategies that actually move your career forward. I've spent years studying how technology transforms careers, and what I'm seeing right now with AI is unlike anything we've experienced before. Today, I'm going to show you the specific skills that will make you irreplaceable. Not just relevant, as AI continues to reshape every single industry. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why most people are approaching AI completely wrong, what actually makes someone valuable in an AI-augmented workplace, and the framework you need to build these skills starting today. This isn't theory. This is what's already working for professionals who are getting promoted while their colleagues worry about job security. Problem: here's what I keep hearing from professionals everywhere. They're watching AI do things that used to take them hours, and instead of feeling empowered, they're feeling terrified. You've probably felt it too. You see ChatGPT writing reports, AI tools creating presentations, algorithms analyzing data faster than your entire team combined. And there's this nagging question in the back of your mind. If AI can do all this, what's my value anymore? So you do what everyone's doing. You take an online course about prompt engineering. You learn how to use the latest AI tools. You start adding proficient in AI technologies to your resume. But here's the brutal truth. So is everyone else. You're working harder than ever, trying to keep up with every new AI release. You feel like you're constantly behind, because by the time you master one tool, 3 more have launched. And the worst part, you're starting to realize that being good at using AI tools isn't actually making you more valuable. It's just making you faster at doing the same things that AI is getting better at doing without you. The stress is real. You're caught between spending time learning these new tools and actually doing your job. Your company expects you to be AI savvy, but hasn't given you any real guidance on what that means. And when you look at the skills everyone's talking about, it's all surface-level stuff that won't matter in 6 months when the tools inevitably change. Here's why this is happening, and it's not what most people think. The problem isn't that you're not learning AI fast enough. The problem is that everyone is confusing AI literacy with AI leverage. AI literacy is knowing how to use the tools. It's understanding prompts, learning interfaces, keeping up with features. And yes, it matters. But here's what nobody's telling you. AI literacy has an expiration date. Every tool you learn today will be obsolete or completely different within a year. The interface changes, the capabilities expand, new competitors emerge. If your value is tied to knowing specific tools, you're building your career on sand. AI leverage is completely different. It's understanding how to think about problems in ways that make you exponentially more valuable because AI exists. It's not about replacing your skills with AI, it's about developing the uniquely human capabilities that become more critical, not less. When AI handles the routine work, think about what happened with calculators. When calculators became widespread, we didn't need people who were fast at arithmetic anymore. But we desperately needed people who understood which calculations to run, how to interpret the results, and what the numbers actually meant in context. The people who became irreplaceable weren't calculator experts. They were the ones who developed deeper analytical and strategic thinking skills. This is the exact same pattern, just accelerated. Companies don't need more people who are good at prompting AI. They need people who can figure out which problems are worth solving, how to validate that AI outputs are actually correct, and how to bridge the gap between what AI produces and what actually creates value in the real world. Solutions: here's what actually works. I call this the Human Edge Framework, and it's built on 5 core competencies that become more valuable as AI becomes more capable. First, develop contextual intelligence. This is your ability to understand the nuanced, unwritten rules of your industry and organization. AI can generate a strategy document, but it has no idea about the internal politics, the failed initiatives from 2 years ago, or why the leadership team is actually resistant to certain approaches. You need to become the person who can take a B-generated work and translate it into something that actually lands in your specific environment. Practice this by always asking, what context is missing from this output that only I would know? What assumptions is the AI making that don't apply here? Second, master judgment under uncertainty. AI is phenomenal when there's clear data and established patterns. But the most valuable decisions in any organization happen when the data is incomplete, contradictory, or pointing in multiple directions. You need to develop the confidence and framework to make calls when AI gives you 3 equally plausible options. Start building a decision journal. Document the uncertain calls you make, why you made them, and what happened. Over time, you'll develop pattern recognition that AI simply cannot replicate because it's based on lived experience and intuition. Third, become a quality validator. This is crucial, and almost nobody's talking about it. As AI produces more content, analysis, and solutions, someone needs to know when it's wrong. And AI is wrong a lot, just confidently wrong. You need deep domain expertise, not in using AI, but in your actual field. If you're in marketing, become genuinely excellent at understanding consumer psychology. If you're in finance, develop an intuitive feel for when numbers don't smell right. The skill isn't using AI to do analysis. The skill is knowing when the AI's analysis is missing something critical. Fourth, develop strategic problem framing. Before AI can solve a problem, someone has to figure out what the actual problem is. Most people jump straight to solutions, but the irreplaceable professionals are the ones who can step back and ask, are we solving the right problem? Is this even a problem worth solving? What's the root issue underneath the symptoms we're seeing? Practice the 5 whys technique. When someone presents a problem, ask why 5 times. You'll often discover the real issue is completely different from what people initially think. Fifth, build genuine relationship capital. AI can't grab coffee with a colleague, sense someone's hesitation in a meeting, or build the trust that comes from showing up consistently over time. But here's the key. This isn't about being friendly. It's about being the person others seek out because you understand them. You deliver on your commitments, and you make their work better. Invest real time in understanding what your colleagues, clients, and stakeholders actually care about. Not just professionally, but what keeps them up at night. Now, let me give you the tactical implementation plan. Here's how you actually build these skills starting this week. For contextual intelligence, start a weekly practice I call context mapping. Every Friday, spend 15 minutes writing down the unwritten rules you've observed that week. Who actually makes decisions? What topics are sensitive? What past initiatives shape current attitudes? Build this knowledge base deliberately. For judgment under uncertainty, commit to the decision journal I mentioned. But add this layer. Before you check the outcome, write down your confidence level and what would make you change your mind. This trains you to think probabilistically and recognize your own biases. For quality validation, pick one AI tool you use regularly and deliberately try to catch it, making mistakes. Not to prove AI is bad, but to train your eye. When you find an error, document what pattern you noticed. Was it hallucinating facts? Making logical leaps? Missing industry context? You're building your quality radar. For problem framing before you start any new project this week, spend 10 minutes writing out, what problem are we really solving? Who has this problem? What does success actually look like? What are we assuming that might not be true? Share this with your team. You'll be amazed how often this prevents wasted work. For relationship capital, here's something specific. Identify 3 people you work with regularly and schedule individual conversations with them. Not networking, not small talk. Real conversations where you ask, what's the hardest part of your role right now? What do you wish others understood about your work? Then actually listen and look for ways to make their work easier. Success story. Let me tell you about Jonathan. He's a project manager at a mid-sized tech company, and 8 months ago, he was panicking. His company had just rolled out AI tools across all departments, and he watched his role shrink before his eyes. AI was generating project plans, tracking milestones, even flagging risks automatically. Jonathan did what most people would do. He tried to become the AI expert on his team. He learned every feature, created templates, ran training sessions, but after 3 months, he realized something terrifying. He'd made himself into a very expensive AI administrator. Anyone could learn what he knew in a few weeks. That's when he shifted his approach completely. Instead of trying to be better at using AI than everyone else, he focused on what the AI couldn't do. He started spending time really understanding each team member's working style, their strengths, their pressure points. When AI would generate a project plan, he'd add the layer of human insight. This timeline won't work because Sarah's team is underwater with another launch. This risk assessment missed the political dimension with the executive team. He became the person who could translate between what AI suggested and what would actually work in their specific reality. He developed a reputation for catching problems before they happened. Not because he had better tools, but because he understood the human and organizational context better than anyone. Within 6 months, Jonathan wasn't worried about job security anymore. He'd been promoted. The company created a new role specifically for him: Strategic Project Lead. His entire job is now about the high judgment, high context work that matters most. And here's the specific result. While other project managers were seeing their teams shrink because AI could handle more projects, Jonathan's team doubled in size because leadership realized they needed more of what he brought to the table. His salary increased by 38%. But more importantly, he went from feeling replaceable to being someone the company literally built a new role around because of the unique value he provided. Call to action. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one of those 5 skills we talked about, just one, and commit to practicing it this week using the specific tactic I gave you. Don't try to do everything at once. Don't just consume more content about AI. Take one piece of this framework and implement it. That's how you actually build irreplaceability, one deliberate skill at a time. Remember, AI is going to keep getting better at doing tasks. The question is whether you're going to compete with AI at what it does or become valuable specifically because of what it can't do. The choice is yours, but the window to make this shift is right now. If this framework resonated with you, like and subscribe to KB Blue Tree for more insightful content. We're here every week breaking down what actually works in the real world, not just what sounds good in theory. You've got this. Now go build something that makes you irreplaceable.